Question 1. What must you do when you see a give way sign at an intersection? A. Speed up to clear the intersection. B. Slow down and be prepared to stop. C. Proceed without stopping if traffic allows. D. Only give way to vehicles on your right. Answers is B. Slow down and be prepared to stop. A give way sign means you must slow down and be prepared to stop, giving way to all traffic already in, or approaching, the intersection from another road. You must not proceed if there is any danger of colliding with another vehicle. Question 2. What is the maximum speed limit in a typical Australian urban area unless otherwise signed? A. 40 km per hour. B. 50 km per hour. C. 60 km per hour. D. 70 km per hour. Answers is B. 50. In most Australian urban areas, the default maximum speed limit is 50 unless different signs are posted. Always observe speed signs as limits can vary. Question 3. When approaching a railway crossing with flashing lights, what must you do? A. Proceed if no train is visible. B. Stop and wait for the lights to stop flashing. C. Slow down and check for trains. D. Only stop if there is a boom gate. Answers is B. Stop and wait for the lights to stop flashing. Flashing lights at a railway crossing indicate an approaching train. You must stop before the stop line, or if there is no stop line before the crossing, and wait for the lights to stop flashing and the boom gates to rise before proceeding. Question 4. What does a no sign indicate? A. U-turns are allowed during off-peak hours. B. U-turns are prohibited at this location. C. U-turns are only allowed for emergency vehicles. D. You must turn right instead of U-turning. Answers is B. U-turns are prohibited at this location. A no sign specifically prohibits drivers from performing a U-turn at that particular intersection or road section. Disobeying this sign can result in fines and demerit points. Question 5. What is the correct procedure for turning left at an intersection with no specific arrow signal? A. Swerve left quickly. B. Signal left, give way to pedestrians. C. Signal left, give way to vehicles. D. Signal right, then turn left. Answers is B. Signal left, give way to pedestrians. When turning left at an intersection, you must signal your intention, move into the leftmost lane or as far left as practicable, and give way to any pedestrians crossing the road you are turning into. Then, turn safely. Question 6. When must you use your headlights in Australia? A. Only at night on country roads. B. From sunset to sunrise and in bad weather. C. Only when it is raining heavily. D. When driving in a tunnel only. Answers is B. From sunset to sunrise and in bad weather. In Australia, you must use your headlights from sunset to sunrise. You also need to use them in conditions of visibility, such as fog, heavy rain, or dust storms, to ensure you are visible to other road users. Question 7. What does a roundabout sign indicate? A playground ahead. B. A circular intersection where you must give way. C. A street. D. A place for U-turns only. Answers is B. A circular intersection where you must give way. The roundabout sign indicates an approaching circular intersection. At a roundabout, you must give way to any vehicle already in the roundabout, unless road markings or signs indicate otherwise. Enter when it is safe to do so. Question 8. What is the purpose of a stop sign at an intersection? A. Slow down and check for traffic. B. Come to a complete stop before the line. C. Stop only if there is crossing traffic. D. Yield to traffic on the main road. Answers is B. Come to a complete stop before the line. A stop sign requires you to bring your vehicle to a complete halt before the stop line. If there's no stop line, stop before the intersection where you have a clear view of approaching traffic. You must then give way to all other vehicles and pedestrians. Question 9. What does a no overtaking sign mean? A. You can overtake if safe. B. You must not overtake other vehicles. C. Overtaking is only allowed on weekends. D. Only slow vehicles are prohibited. Answers is B. You must not overtake other vehicles. A no overtaking sign prohibits drivers from passing other vehicles in that area. This is typically implemented where visibility is limited or it's unsafe to overtake, such as on winding roads or before crests. Question 10. When driving in fog, what is the safest way to use your lights? A. Use high beam headlights. B. Use low beam headlights or fog lights. C. Turn off your lights to reduce glare. D. Use hazard lights constantly. Answers is B. Use low beam headlights or fog lights. In fog, high beam headlights can reflect off the fog and worsen visibility. It is safer to use low beam headlights or fog lights, as they are directed downwards and help illuminate the road closer to your vehicle without causing glare. Question 11. What does a steep descent warning sign indicate? A. A flat road ahead. B. A long steep downhill slope is approaching. C. A sudden drop in the road surface. D. A climb is beginning. Answers is B. A long, steep downhill slope is approaching. The steep descent sign warns drivers of a significant downhill gradient. Drivers should select a lower gear to use engine braking, reduce speed, and be prepared for increased braking distances to maintain control of the vehicle. Question 12. What does a no entry sign mean? A. Entry permitted for residents. B. Vehicles are not permitted to enter. C. Entry allowed for bicycles only. D. Entry allowed during certain hours. Answers is B. Vehicles are not permitted to enter. A no entry sign, typically a red circle with a white bar, means that vehicles are strictly prohibited from entering the road or area beyond the sign, usually because it is a one-way street going the opposite direction. Question 13. When approaching a pedestrian crossing, what must you do if a pedestrian is waiting to cross? A. Sound your horn to make them wait. B. Slow down and be prepared to stop. C. Maintain speed if they haven't stepped on road. D. Only stop if they are elderly. Answers is B. Slow down and be prepared to stop. At a pedestrian crossing, you must slow down and be prepared to stop if a pedestrian is on or approaching the crossing. You must give way to any pedestrian on or entering the crossing. Question 14. What does a slippery road warning sign indicate? A. Road is under construction. B. The road surface may be slippery. C. Speed limit ahead. D. A bumpy road is ahead. Answers is B. The road surface may be slippery. The slippery road sign warns drivers that the road surface may have grip due to conditions like rain, oil, or ice. Drivers should reduce speed, avoid sudden braking or acceleration, and increase following distance. Question 15. What is the safest following distance under normal dry conditions? A. Rule. B. Rule. C. Rule. D. Rule. Answers is B. Rule. The rule is a commonly taught guideline for maintaining a safe following distance under normal dry conditions. This allows enough time to react and stop safely if the vehicle in front stops suddenly. In adverse conditions, increase this distance. Question 16. What does a road narrows on both sides sign indicate? A. Road expands ahead. B. The road width reduces from both sides. C. Only one lane ahead. D. A bridge is ahead. Answers is B. The road width reduces from both sides. This sign warns that the road ahead will narrow on both sides. Drivers should be prepared for road width, potentially requiring them to adjust their speed and position, and be cautious of oncoming traffic or obstacles. Question 17. When should you indicate before turning or changing lanes? A. Just as you begin the turn. B. At least 3 seconds before. C. Only if other cars are nearby. D. After checking your mirrors. Answers is B. At least 3 seconds before. You should indicate your intention to turn or change lanes for at least 3 seconds before performing the maneuver. This gives other road users sufficient time to understand your intentions and react safely. Question 18. What does a maximum speed limit 50 sign mean? A. Recommended speed is 50. B. The highest speed permitted is 50 km per hour. C. The minimum speed is 50 km per hour. D. Only vehicles under 50 km per hour are allowed. Answers is B. The highest speed permitted is 50. This sign indicates the maximum speed limit for the road ahead is 50. You must not exceed this speed, even if you feel it's safe to do so. Speed limits are set for safety reasons. Question 19. What is a safe driving practice when approaching a curve? A. Accelerate into the curve. B. Slow down before entering the curve. C. Brake hard while in the curve. D. Maintain speed throughout. Answers is B. Slow down before entering the curve. It is safest to slow down before entering a curve, especially a dangerous one like this sign depicts. This allows you to maintain control, avoid skidding, and adjust your speed if the curve tightens or conditions change. Accelerate gently only after the curve's apex. Question 20. When can you overtake a tram on the left? A. Always. B. When there is sufficient space and it is safe. C. Never. D. Only if the tram is stationary. Answers is B. When there is sufficient space and it is safe. You can overtake a tram on the left when there is enough clear road space to do so safely and legally. Be cautious and aware of passengers getting on or off the tram and traffic conditions. Question 21. What does a roadworks sign warn you about? A. Rest area ahead. B. Construction or maintenance activity on the road. C. A detour ahead. D. A new road opening. Answers is B. Construction or maintenance activity on the road. The roadworks sign indicates that there is construction, maintenance, or repair work being carried out on the road ahead. Drivers should slow down, be alert for workers, changed road conditions, and follow any temporary traffic control measures. Question 22. What must you do if your vehicle breaks down on a freeway? A. Stay in your vehicle in the lane. B. Move to the shoulder, turn on hazards. C. Attempt to fix it immediately in the lane. D. Walk to the nearest service station. Answers is B. Move to the shoulder, turn on hazards. If your vehicle breaks down on a freeway, safely move it to the emergency shoulder or as far off the road as possible. Turn on your hazard lights to warn other drivers. If it's safe, exit the vehicle on the side and wait for assistance. Question 23. What does a priority road sign indicate? A. You must give way to all traffic. B. You have right of way at intersections. C. The road is for emergency vehicles only. D. A bus lane ahead. Answers is B. You have right of way at intersections. The priority road sign informs you that you are on a road where you have the right of way at intersections with minor roads. Drivers on intersecting roads will typically have give way or stop signs. Question 24. What does a no right turn sign mean? A. Right turns are only for buses. B. You are prohibited from turning right. C. Right turns are only allowed at night. D. Right turns are permitted on green light. Answers is B. You are prohibited from turning right. This sign strictly prohibits drivers from making a right turn at the intersection or junction where it is placed. You must find an alternative route if you need to go in that direction. Question 25. When are you permitted to cross a solid white line on the road? A. To overtake a slow vehicle. B. Only to avoid an obstruction or hazard. C. When turning into a driveway. D. To make a U-turn. Answers is B. Only to avoid an obstruction or hazard. A single solid white line generally means you must not cross it to change lanes or overtake. You are only permitted to cross it if it is necessary to avoid an obstruction or hazard, or to enter or leave the road, e.g., turning into a driveway or parking space. Question 26. What does a pedestrian crossing sign indicate? A. A place where pedestrians are prohibited. B. A area for pedestrians to cross. C. A school zone ahead. D. A footpath begins. Answers is B. A area for pedestrians to cross. This sign indicates a pedestrian crossing ahead, often marked by white lines on the road. Drivers must be prepared to slow down and stop to give way to pedestrians who are on or entering the crossing. Question 27. What should you do if an emergency vehicle approaches with flashing lights and sirens? A. Maintain your speed and direction. B. Move left and stop, clear of intersections. C. Speed up to get out of its way quickly. D. Only stop if it's directly behind you. Answers is B. Move left and stop, clear of intersections. You must give way to an emergency vehicle that has its lights flashing or sirens sounding. Move out of its path to the left side of the road, if safe, and stop until the vehicle has passed. Do not stop in an intersection. Question 28. What does loose gravel warning sign indicate? A. Parking area. B. Loose gravel on the road surface. C. Road under maintenance. D. A picnic area ahead. Answers is B. Loose gravel on the road surface. The loose gravel sign warns drivers that there may be loose stones or gravel on the road. This can reduce tire grip and increase braking distances. Drivers should reduce speed, avoid sudden movements, and increase following distance. Question 29. When is it permissible to use your horn in an urban area? A. To greet a friend. B. To warn others of a danger. C. To express frustration. D. To signal you are passing. Answers is B. To warn others of a danger. Your horn should only be used to warn other road users or animals of an immediate danger. Misusing the horn, such as for expressing frustration or greeting, can be illegal and lead to fines. Question 30. What does a no parking sign mean? A. You can park for 10 minutes. B. You may stop to pick off passengers. C. No stopping for any reason. D. Parking allowed on weekends. Answers is B. You may stop to pick off passengers. A no parking sign generally means you can stop briefly to pick up or drop off passengers or goods, but you must not leave your vehicle unattended. Check specific local rules, as definitions can slightly vary. Question 31. What does a traffic light ahead sign indicate? A. A roundabout ahead. B. Traffic signals are ahead. C. A pedestrian crossing ahead. D. Road works ahead. Answers is B. Traffic signals are ahead. This sign warns drivers that they are approaching an intersection controlled by traffic lights. Drivers should be prepared to slow down, stop, and obey the signals to ensure safe passage through the intersection. Question 32. What is the correct action if you miss your exit on a freeway? A. Reverse on the shoulder. B. Continue to the next exit. C. Stop and wait for a gap to turn around. D. Make a U-turn if the median is wide. Answers is B. Continue to the next exit. If you miss your exit on a freeway, you must continue to the next exit. It is extremely dangerous and illegal to stop, reverse, or attempt a U-turn on a freeway. Plan your route in advance to avoid missing exits. Question 33. What does an uneven road sign warn you about? A. Road works ahead. B. Rough or bumpy section of road ahead. C. A steep incline ahead. D. A pedestrian crossing ahead. Answers is B. Rough or bumpy section of road ahead. The uneven road sign warns drivers of the road surface that could cause discomfort or loss of control if approached at speed. Drivers should reduce speed to navigate the uneven terrain safely. Question 34. What does a stop and give way sign require? A. Only stop if traffic is present. B. Stop completely then give way to all traffic. C. Slow down and give way. D. Stop only for vehicles on your right. Answers is B. Stop completely, then give way to all traffic. A stop and give way sign means you must come to a complete stop at the stop line, or if there is no line, at the intersection. After stopping, you must give way to all other traffic and pedestrians before proceeding when safe. Question 35. When can you drive on an emergency stopping lane? A. To overtake slow vehicles. B. Only in an emergency. C. To pick up passengers. D. During heavy traffic. Answers is B. Only in an emergency. An emergency stopping lane by this sign is exclusively for use by vehicles in an emergency or for enforcement purposes. It is illegal to drive in this lane for any other reason, such as overtaking or convenience. Question 36. What should you do if you encounter a kangaroo on the road at night? A. Sound horn and speed up. B. Brake slowly, do not swerve suddenly. C. Turn off headlights to avoid startling. D. Swear to avoid hitting. Answers is B. Brake slowly, do not swerve suddenly. When encountering wildlife, especially kangaroos, brake slowly and remain in your lane if possible. Swerving suddenly can cause you to lose control, collide with another vehicle, or hit a tree. If impact is unavoidable, maintain control and brake firmly. Question 37. What does a no stopping sign indicate? A. You can stop briefly to pick up. B. You must not stop for any reason. C. Stopping is allowed during. D. Only taxis can stop here. Answers is B. You must not stop for any reason. A no stopping sign means you must not stop your vehicle at any point on the road or area adjacent to the sign, for any reason, even to pick up or drop off passengers. This is enforced to maintain traffic flow and safety. Question 38. When driving downhill, why should you select a lower gear? A. To increase your speed. B. To use engine braking and save brakes. C. To make the engine work harder. D. To reduce fuel consumption. Answers is B. To use engine braking and save brakes. Selecting a lower gear when driving downhill, especially on a steep descent, allows your engine to provide engine braking. This helps control your speed without overheating your brakes, preserving them for when you really need them. Question 39. What does a divided road sign warn about? A. A road for shared use. B. Traffic flows in opposite directions. C. A dead end ahead. D. A row. Answers is B. Traffic flows in opposite directions. While there isn't a single divided road sign in the provided list, general road signage like those for dividing strip indicates a road where traffic flows in opposite directions and is separated by a median or barrier. This question implies a general understanding of road types. Question 40. What does a children's sign indicate? A. A playground nearby. B. Children may be present near the road. C. A school bus stop. D. A pedestrian crossing. Answers is B. Children may be present near the road. The children's sign is a warning sign that children may be present in or near the road ahead, typically found near schools, parks, or residential areas. Drivers should slow down and be extra vigilant. Question 41. When making a right turn at an intersection with no traffic lights, who has priority? A. Vehicles turning right. B. Oncoming straight traffic. C. Vehicles turning left. D. The fastest vehicle. Answers is B. Oncoming straight traffic. When making a right turn at an intersection without traffic lights or specific signs, you must give way to any oncoming traffic that is going straight or turning left. You also give way to pedestrians crossing the road you are turning into. Question 42. What does a keep left sign mean? A. Always drive in the left lane. B. You must pass the obstacle on the left. C. Parking is allowed on the left. D. Only left turns are allowed. Answers is B. You must pass the obstacle on the left. This sign, typically an arrow pointing left, pass obstacle on the left, indicates that you must pass an upcoming obstacle or median strip on its left side. It directs the flow of traffic around an obstruction. Question 43. When driving in heavy rain, what should you do? A. Turn on high beam headlights. B. Reduce speed and increase following distance. C. Drive in the middle of the road. D. Use hazard lights as driving lights. Answers is B. Reduce speed and increase following distance. In heavy rain, visibility is and the road surface becomes slippery. You should reduce your speed, increase your following distance to allow more braking time, and use low beam headlights to be more visible to others. Question 44. What does a lane use one lane sign indicate? A. Road closed to through traffic. B. The directions of movement in one lane. C. A narrow bridge ahead. D. Overtaking is prohibited. Answers is B. The directions of movement in one lane. This sign indicates the permitted directions of movement or specific rules that apply to a single lane of traffic. It helps guide drivers on how to proceed through complex intersections or multi-lane roads. Question 45. What does a dangerous curve to the right sign warn about? A. A sharp left turn ahead. B. A sharp curve to the right is approaching. C. A right turn is mandatory. D. A right lane closes ahead. Answers is B. A sharp curve to the right is approaching. This sign warns drivers of an upcoming dangerous or sharp curve to the right. Drivers should reduce their speed significantly before entering the curve and maintain control to avoid skidding or running off the road. Question 46. What is the primary purpose of A. To keep drivers awake. B. To prevent serious injury in a crash. C. To assist with posture. D. To hold you in place when turning. Answers is B. To prevent serious injury in a crash. Are designed to restrain occupants in the event of a collision, preventing them from being thrown forward or out of the vehicle, thereby significantly reducing the risk of death or serious injury. Wearing A is mandatory for all occupants in Australia. Question 47. What does a no left turn sign mean? A. Left turns are only for buses. B. You are prohibited from turning left. C. Left turns are only allowed at night. D. Left turns are permitted on green light. Answers is B. You are prohibited from turning left. This sign strictly prohibits drivers from making a left turn at the intersection or junction where it is placed. You must find an alternative route if you need to go in that direction. Question 48. What does a junction with a minor road sign indicate? A. A major highway ahead. B. A minor road joins the main road. C. A street ahead. D. A road for bicycles only. Answers is B. A minor road joins the main road. This sign warns drivers that a minor road will merge with the current road. Drivers should be aware of potential traffic entering the main road and be prepared to adjust their speed or position if necessary. Question 49. When approaching a school zone during operating hours, what is the typical speed limit? A. 60 km per hour, B. 40 km per hour, C. 50 km per hour, D. 30 km per hour. Answers is B. 40. In Australia, school zones typically have a speed limit of 40 during school hours. These hours are usually posted on supplementary signs. It's crucial to obey these limits for children's safety. Question 50. What does a tunnel sign indicate? A. A cave entrance, B. A tunnel is approaching, C. A historic landmark, D. A road under repair. Answers is B. A tunnel is approaching. The tunnel sign warns drivers that they are approaching a tunnel. Inside a tunnel, specific rules often apply, such as keeping headlights on, maintaining a safe following distance, and not changing lanes unless permitted. Question 51. What is the correct procedure for stopping at a red traffic light? A. Stop only if cars are coming, B. Stop before the stop line or intersection, C. Slam on brakes last minute, D. Stop in the middle of the intersection. Answers is B. Stop before the stop line or intersection. When a traffic light turns red, you must come to a complete stop before the stop line. If there is no stop line, stop before the intersection where you can see clearly without obstructing cross traffic or pedestrians. Question 52. What does end of no overtaking sign mean? A. Overtaking is still prohibited. B. Overtaking is permitted if safe. C. Only trucks can overtake now. D. The road narrows ahead. Answers is B. Overtaking is permitted if safe. This sign indicates the end of a previous no overtaking restriction. Drivers are now permitted to overtake other vehicles, provided it is safe and legal to do so, considering all other road rules and conditions. Question 53. When is it legal to use a mobile phone while driving? A. When holding it to your ear for a call. B. When securely mounted and used hands-free. C. While stopped at traffic lights. D. To check directions quickly. Answers is B. When securely mounted and used hands-free. In Australia, it is illegal to use a mobile phone while driving. You can only use a mobile phone for navigation or calls if it is securely mounted in a cradle and hands-free. Question 54. What does a pedestrian crossing sign indicate for drivers? A. Pedestrians must wait. B. Give way to pedestrians crossing. C. A place for drivers to stop. D. No pedestrians allowed here. Answers is B. Give way to pedestrians crossing. This sign, similar to but as an indicator, highlights a pedestrian crossing. Drivers must always be prepared to stop and give way to any pedestrian on or entering a pedestrian crossing. Vigilance is key in these areas. Question 55. What does road for motor vehicles sign mean? A. Only buses can use this road. B. Only motor vehicles are allowed. C. A road with a minimum speed limit. D. Road for cyclists. Answers is B. Only motor vehicles are allowed. This sign indicates that the road ahead is specifically for motor vehicles. Certain slow-moving vehicles, pedestrians, or traffic may be prohibited to ensure smoother and faster traffic flow. Question 56. What is the correct way to merge onto a freeway? A. Stop at the end of the ramp. B. Match speed with traffic, indicate merge. C. Speed up quickly and force your way in. D. Wait for a complete stop, then merge. Answers is B. Match speed with traffic, indicate merge. When merging onto a freeway, use the acceleration lane to match the speed of the freeway traffic. Signal your intention, check your mirrors and blind spot, and merge smoothly into a safe gap. Do not stop at the end of the ramp. Question 57. What does a side wind sign warn you about? A. Strong headwind ahead. B. Strong crosswinds that may affect control. C. A place for windsurfing. D. A windy, twisting road. Answers is B. Strong crosswinds that may affect control. The side wind sign warns drivers of strong crosswinds that could push their vehicle sideways. This is particularly important for vehicles, motorcyclists, and drivers towing trailers. Reduce speed and maintain a firm grip on the steering wheel. Question 58. What does a hump bump sign indicate? A. A railway crossing. B. A raised section or speed hump in the road. C. A pothole in the road. D. An area prone to flooding. Answers is B. A raised section or speed hump in the road. The hump bump sign warns drivers of an upcoming speed hump or a raised section in the road. Drivers should reduce their speed to avoid damage to their vehicle or discomfort to passengers. Question 59. What does a one-way road sign mean? A. Traffic flows in both directions. B. Traffic flows only in the direction. C. Only one lane is open for traffic. D. A road with a maximum speed limit. Answers is B. Traffic flows only in the direction. This sign indicates that the road ahead is a one-way street, meaning all traffic flows in the same direction. Drivers must only travel in the direction by the sign. Question 60. What should you do if you are dazzled by oncoming headlights at night? A. Flash your high beams. B. Slow down, look to the left side of road. C. Close your eyes briefly. D. Speed up to pass the vehicle quickly. Answers is B. Slow down, look to the left side of road. If dazzled by oncoming headlights, reduce your speed and look slightly to the left side of your lane to avoid looking directly into the lights. This helps preserve your night vision until the vehicle passes. Question 61. What does a no sounding of horn sign indicate? A. Only quiet vehicles allowed. B. Horns must not be used in this area. C. Horns can be used only for. D. A silent zone for pedestrians. Answers is B. Horns must not be used in this area. This sign typically appears in residential areas or near hospitals and means that drivers are prohibited from sounding their horn, except in an immediate emergency to prevent an accident. It aims to reduce noise pollution. Question 62. What does a sign warn about? A. A flat road ahead. B. The road surface has numerous holes. C. A construction zone. D. A railway crossing. Answers is B. The road surface has numerous holes. The sign warns drivers of depressions or holes in the road surface that can damage tires, wheels, or suspension if hit at speed. Drivers should reduce speed and try to safely steer around them. Question 63. What does end of motorway sign mean? A. Motorway continues. B. Motorway rules no longer apply. C. A new motorway begins. D. Speed limit increases. Answers is B. Motorway rules no longer apply. This sign indicates the end of a motorway or expressway. Drivers should be aware that the special rules and higher speed limits of the motorway no longer apply, and they may be entering a regular road with different regulations. Question 64. When should you increase your following distance? A. Only when driving slowly. B. In bad weather or heavy traffic. C. When you are in a hurry. D. When driving a small car. Answers is B, in bad weather or heavy traffic. You should increase your following distance, e.g., to 3 or 4 seconds in adverse conditions such as rain, fog, darkness, or heavy traffic. This gives you more time to react and stop safely if the vehicle ahead stops suddenly. Question 65. What does proceed straight sign instruct? A. Turn right. B. You must go straight ahead. C. Turn left. D. You can turn either way. Answers is B. You must go straight ahead. This mandatory sign indicates that drivers must proceed straight ahead through the intersection or along the road. It prohibits turns to the left or right, ensuring a consistent flow of traffic. Question 66. What does traffic congestion sign warn about? A. A clear road ahead. B. Heavy traffic or a queue is likely. C. Road closed due to an event. D. A temporary speed limit. Answers is B. Heavy traffic or a queue is likely. The traffic congestion sign warns drivers of likely heavy traffic or queues ahead. Drivers should be prepared to slow down, potentially stop, and maintain a safe following distance. It alerts to potential delays. Question 67. When entering a roundabout, who must you give way to? A. Vehicles turning left. B. Vehicles already in the roundabout. C. Vehicles on your right. D. No one, you have priority. Answers is B. Vehicles already in the roundabout. At a roundabout, unless otherwise signed, you must give way to any vehicle that is already in the roundabout. This rule ensures smooth and safe traffic flow through the circular intersection. Question 68. What does a cattle crossing sign mean? A. A farm ahead. B. Livestock may be on or near the road. C. A cattle market. D. A picnic area with animals. Answers is B. Livestock may be on or near the road. The cattle crossing sign warns drivers that livestock, such as cattle, may be present on or near the road. Drivers should slow down, be prepared to stop, and proceed cautiously to avoid collisions with animals. Question 69. What is the correct procedure for changing lanes? A. Speed up and quickly swerve. B. Mirror, signal, head check, then move. C. Signal, then immediately change lane. D. Only use mirrors. Answers is B. Mirror, signal, head check, then move. The correct procedure for changing lanes is mirror, signal, head check, move. First, check your mirrors, then signal your intention for at least 3 seconds. Perform a head check to ensure your blind spot is clear, and then smoothly move into the lane when safe. Question 70. What does priority over oncoming traffic sign mean? A. You must give way to oncoming traffic. B. You have right of way over oncoming traffic. C. Only buses have priority. D. A two-way road is ahead. Answers is B. You have right of way over oncoming traffic. This sign indicates that you have priority over oncoming traffic in a section of road that is too narrow for both directions to pass simultaneously. Oncoming drivers will typically see a priority over oncoming traffic is sign. Question 71. What does a loose gravel stone sign indicate? A parking area. B. Loose gravel on the road surface. C. Road under maintenance. D. A picnic area ahead. Answers is B. Loose gravel on the road surface. The loose gravel sign warns drivers that there may be loose stones or gravel on the road. This can reduce tire grip and increase braking distances. Drivers should reduce speed, avoid sudden movements, and increase following distance. Question 72. What must you do if you are involved in a minor collision with no? A. Drive away if damage is minor. B. Exchange details, move cars if safe. C. Call police immediately for all collisions. D. Wait for police regardless of damage. Answers is B. Exchange details, move cars if safe. If involved in a minor collision with no, you should exchange names, addresses, phone numbers, vehicle registration, and insurance details with the other driver. If safe to do so, move your vehicles off the road to avoid obstructing traffic. Question 73. What does a dangerous curve to the left sign warn about? A sharp right turn ahead. B. A sharp curve to the left is approaching. C. A left turn is mandatory. D. A left lane closes ahead. Answers is B. A sharp curve to the left is approaching. This sign warns drivers of an upcoming dangerous or sharp curve to the left. Drivers should reduce their speed significantly before entering the curve and maintain control to avoid skidding or running off the road. Question 74. What does minimum speed limit 50 sign indicate? A. Maximum speed is 50. B. You must drive at least 50 km per hour if safe. C. Speed limit is 50 km per hour. D. Only slow vehicles are prohibited. Answers is B. You must drive at least 50 if safe. This sign indicates a minimum speed limit of 50. You must drive at or above this speed, provided it is safe to do so, to maintain traffic flow. Driving too slowly can be hazardous in such areas. Question 75. When driving near large vehicles, trucks, buses, what should you be aware of? A. They have shorter braking distances. B. They have larger blind spots. C. They can stop more quickly. D. They are always slower. Answers is B. They have larger blind spots. Large vehicles have significantly larger blind spots, often called no zones, on all sides. Avoid driving in these areas, and ensure you can see the driver's mirrors if you are alongside them to know they can see you. They also require more space to brake and turn. Question 76. What does road for shared use by passenger cars and mean? A. Only cars allowed. B. Cars and bicycles share this road. C. Only bicycles allowed. D. A road for pedestrians. Answers is B. Cars and bicycles share this road. This sign indicates a road where both passenger cars and bicycles are permitted and expected to share the road space. Drivers of cars should be particularly mindful of cyclists and allow ample space. Question 77. What does end of priority road sign indicate? A. Priority road continues. B. Your priority at intersections ends. C. You have priority over all traffic. D. A one-way road ahead. Answers is B. Your priority at intersections ends. This sign marks the end of a priority road. From this point onwards, you no longer automatically have the right of way at intersections and must follow standard rules unless other signs indicate otherwise. Question 78. When is it permissible to overtake on the left? A. Only on freeways. B. When the vehicle ahead is turning right. C. When you are in a hurry. D. Never. Answers is B. When the vehicle ahead is turning right. You can generally overtake on the left if the vehicle you are passing is indicating a right turn, or on multi-lane roads if it is safe to do so. However, overtaking on the right is usually the standard unless these conditions apply. Question 79. What does a railway crossing single-track sign mean? A crossing. B. A railway crossing is ahead. C. A pedestrian crossing. D. A bridge over railway. Answers is B. A railway crossing is ahead. This sign warns drivers of an upcoming railway crossing. Drivers must be prepared to stop and give way to any trains, especially if flashing lights or boom gates are present. Always look both ways. Question 80. What does a no entry for all vehicles sign mean? A. Entry for pedestrians only. B. No vehicles are allowed to enter. C. Entry permitted on weekends. D. Only small vehicles can enter. Answers is B. No vehicles are allowed to enter. This sign that entry is prohibited for all types of vehicles. It is typically used to block access to a road or area completely, usually for safety reasons or to designate a zone. Question 81. What action should you take when you see a road narrows on the right sign? A. Move to the right lane. B. Be prepared for the right side of the road to narrow. C. Speed up to clear the narrowing. D. Only affects large vehicles. Answers is B. Be prepared for the right side of the road to narrow. This sign warns that the road ahead will narrow on the right side. Drivers should be prepared for road width, adjust their speed and position, and be cautious of oncoming traffic or obstacles in the narrowed section. Question 82. What does a no parking on days sign mean? A. Parking allowed on odd days. B. No parking on the etc. C. No parking on even days. D. No parking every day. Answers is B. No parking on the etc. This sign prohibits parking on specific days of the month. No parking on days means parking is not allowed on the etc. of any month. Always check local variations for exact hours and conditions. Question 83. When is it legal to perform a U-turn? A. At any intersection. B. Where a sign permits it and it's safe. C. When traffic is very light. D. Always at traffic lights. Answers is B. Where a sign permits it and it's safe. U-turns are generally prohibited unless a sign explicitly permits them. E.g. permitted. Even where permitted, you must ensure it is safe, clear of all traffic, and you complete the turn without obstructing others. Question 84. What does a warning, embankment or quayside ahead sign indicate? A. A bridge over water. B. A drop-off or unprotected edge near water. C. A scenic viewpoint. D. A ferry crossing. Answers is B. A drop-off or unprotected edge near water. This sign warns drivers of an unprotected edge of a road alongside a body of water, such as an embankment, river, or quay. Drivers should exercise extreme caution to avoid driving off the edge, especially in low visibility. Question 85. What does turn right sign mean? A. You can turn left or right. B. You must turn right at the intersection. C. Right turns are prohibited. D. Turn right if you want to. Answers is B. You must turn right at the intersection. This mandatory sign indicates that drivers must turn right at the upcoming intersection or junction. It prohibits going straight or turning left, directing traffic flow in a specific manner. Question 86. What does no entry for goods vehicles sign imply? A. Only goods vehicles allowed. B. Goods vehicles are prohibited from entering. C. Goods vehicles can enter if empty. D. A specific lane for goods vehicles. Answers is B. Goods vehicles are prohibited from entering. This sign prohibits goods vehicles, usually defined by weight or type, from entering the road or area beyond the sign. It is often used to restrict heavy vehicle traffic from residential areas or sensitive zones. Question 87. What is the primary reason for keeping your vehicle? A. To increase fuel consumption. B. To ensure safety and reliability. C. To make it look new. D. To avoid parking fines. Answers is B. To ensure safety and reliability. Regular vehicle maintenance, brakes, tires, lights, fluids is crucial for ensuring your vehicle operates safely and reliably on the road. It reduces the risk of breakdowns and accidents caused by mechanical failure. Question 88. What does a road narrows on the left sign indicate? A. Move to the left lane. B. Be prepared for the left side of the road to narrow. C. Speed up to clear the narrowing. D. Only affects large vehicles. Answers is B. Be prepared for the left side of the road to narrow. This sign warns that the road ahead will narrow on the left side. Drivers should be prepared for road width, adjust their speed and position, and be cautious of oncoming traffic or obstacles in the narrowed section. Question 89. What does a hospital sign indicate? A police station. B. A hospital or medical facility is nearby. C. A first aid post. D. A petrol station. Answers is B. A hospital or medical facility is nearby. This service sign indicates that a hospital or another medical facility is in the vicinity. Drivers should be aware of possible emergency vehicle movements and respect any noise restrictions in the area. Question 90. What does a no parking on days sign mean? A. Parking allowed on even days. B. No parking on the etc. C. No parking on odd days. D. No parking every day. Answers is B. No parking on the etc. This sign prohibits parking on specific days of the month. No parking on days means parking is not allowed on the etc. of any month. Always check local variations for exact hours and conditions. Question 91. What does a camping sign indicate? A hotel nearby. B. A camping ground or area is available. C. A picnic area. D. A place to fuel up. Answers is B. A camping ground or area is available. This service sign indicates the presence of a camping ground or an area for camping. It helps travelers find accommodation and recreational. Question 92. What does a low-flying aircraft sign warn about? A. An airport ahead. B. Aircraft may fly low and cause noise. C. A restricted airspace. D. A drone zone. Answers is B. Aircraft may fly low and cause noise. This sign warns drivers of an area where low-flying aircraft e.g. near an airfield might cause sudden noise, potentially startling drivers or causing distraction. Drivers should remain focused and avoid sudden reactions. Question 93. What does end of maximum speed limit 50 sign mean? A. Speed limit remains 50. B. The 50 km/h limit no longer applies. C. Speed limit increases to 70. D. A new speed limit applies. Answers is B. The 50 limit no longer applies. This sign indicates that the previous maximum speed limit of 50 has ended. Drivers should then observe the general speed limit for the area e.g. 50 in urban areas or 100 on rural roads or any new posted speed limits. Question 94. What does a loose gravel stone sign indicate? A. Parking area. B. Loose gravel on the road surface. C. Road under maintenance. D. A picnic area ahead. Answers is B. Loose gravel on the road surface. The loose gravel sign warns drivers that there may be loose stones or gravel on the road. This can reduce tire grip and increase braking distances. Drivers should reduce speed, avoid sudden movements, and increase following distance. Question 95. What does a first aid post sign indicate? A police station. B. A location where first aid is available. C. A hospital. D. A petrol station. Answers is B. A location where first aid is available. This service sign indicates that a first aid post or medical assistance point is available nearby. It's an important sign for or when someone requires immediate medical attention. Question 96. What does priority over oncoming traffic is sign mean? A. You have priority. B. Oncoming traffic has priority over you. C. Only buses have priority. D. A one-way road is ahead. Answers is B. Oncoming traffic has priority over you. This sign indicates that oncoming traffic has the right of way over your vehicle in a narrow section of road. You must be prepared to stop and give way to any vehicles coming from the opposite direction before proceeding. Question 97. What does a cycle track sign mean? A. Road for cars only. B. A path for bicycles. C. A pedestrian walkway. D. A shared path for cars and bikes. Answers is B. A path for bicycles. This mandatory sign indicates a path or lane specifically for bicycles. Motorized vehicles are typically prohibited from using these tracks, and cyclists have priority. Question 98. What does series of dangerous curves first to the right warn about? A. One sharp right curve. B. Multiple sharp curves first one to right. C. A winding road with no sharp curves. D. A series of right turns. Answers is B. Multiple sharp curves first one to right. This sign warns drivers of an upcoming section of road containing several dangerous or sharp curves, with the first curve bending to the right. Drivers should reduce speed, maintain control, and be prepared for successive turns. Question 99. What does a pedestrian track sign mean? A. Road for cars only. B. A path for pedestrians. C. A bicycle track. D. A shared path for cars and pedestrians. Answers is B. A path for pedestrians. This mandatory sign indicates a path or area exclusively for pedestrians. Vehicles are typically prohibited from entering or using these tracks to ensure the safety of walkers. Question 100. What does a road narrows on both sides sign indicate? A. Road expands ahead. B. The road width reduces from both sides. C. Only one lane ahead. D. A bridge is ahead. Answers is B. The road width reduces from both sides. This sign warns that the road ahead will narrow on both sides. Drivers should be prepared for road width, potentially requiring them to adjust their speed and position, and be cautious of oncoming traffic or obstacles.